Jennifer was a simple girl. For as long as she could remember, she wanted love. One fateful day of March 2020, she found it. It was beautiful for a time. A short time. Her self-sabotaging tendencies led that love to be snatched away from her for good. From the ashes of heartbreak comes a video inspired by the critically acclaimed movie How to Build a Better Boy, boasting an audience score of 57%. That's actually a lot higher than I thought. This film teaches kids that if you can't find love, you should recruit China Anne McClain as your sidekick and manufacture it according to your unrealistically high standards. Coming to a screen near you. How to Build a Better Chair. On an unrelated note, stream my song Someone I Never Had.
There's gotta be something mentally wrong with the person that still thinks about the chair that they saw at the thrift store over a year ago and writes a breakup song about it. Yeah, so stream my song Someone I Never Had. Now, I could go out and try to find the exact replica of that chair that I saw and fell in love with, but I think it's time to let go of the past, move on, upgrade to a better version. Today, I'm going to try to thrift flip a chair. Now, that requires a couple things: thrifting a chair and upcycling it. So I was actually inspired by this video I saw from Lone Fox where he took a fabric couch and he painted it to make it look like leather. But I went ahead and watched a bunch more videos on YouTube, and I believe the first person that came up with this was DIY Lily Ardor. Honestly, such a genius idea. And basically it just involves regular wall paint and fabric softener. I'm really excited. I actually need a new chair for the music room makeover that I'm currently in the middle of, so stay tuned for that. So the first step that I need to do is locate a chair. I'm gonna start looking on Facebook Marketplace because recently I have just found myself scrolling through and there's like always so many good things on there. So I want to hopefully, oh my god, what am I looking for? The vibe of the room is like mid-century modern 70s vibe. I think it might be fun to find like a really ugly office computer chair and try to make it look as good as possible, but I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna scroll through and see what kind of options we have. Okay, so we have a bunch of like computer chairs. Ooh, look at this one. This is kind of like exactly the vibe of the room, but it's $100. That's kind of over the budget. Okay, oh wait, this is kind of cute. Just like a regular wooden chair. So apparently the smoother the fabric is, the easier it is to paint the leather texture on. So I'm gonna try to find something that's semi-smooth looking. We've got some office chairs, but I'm very specific about what I'm looking for. Oh my god. Wait, this is amazing. This is like exactly what I'd want in my room, but it's $165. I think that will be like the inspo for what I'm going for. Okay, there's nothing that's exactly perfect, so I'm actually gonna go to the thrift store to try to find one in person, and then I'm also gonna try to pick up the paint that I need. Let's do it. So at the first thrift store that I went to, I found this amazing chair that was a mix of like rattan and upholstered accent chair vibes, and the fabric would be really great to paint over since it was so smooth. It was only $20, but the con was that it was way too heavy to be like a working office chair. So I kept that in mind, but went to thrift store number 2 where I spotted this office chair, which honestly I really loved the structure of. I love the metal on it. It looks very officey, mid-century modern vibes, but the fabric was very tweed-like, very rough, and honestly I thought it'd be a little difficult to paint over to make it look smooth. I kept this in mind and moved to thrift store number 3, where they only had these dining chairs. So at thrift store number 4, I spotted this office chair, which honestly was kind of the vibe that I was going for because I wanted like an extreme transformation. But again, the fabric was too rough to be painted over, so I moved on to thrift store number 5, where I spotted a couple of good options. I actually really liked this office chair. It was pretty much perfect, except for the fact that the lever pump thing to lift the chair up didn't work. I honestly sat there for 20 minutes trying to fix it. Didn't work out. And then I spotted this chair.
Need help?
Yes.
Okay, found this chair. Honestly, not really exactly what I was looking for. Got a couple stains. I ideally wanted to find like a rolling office chair like that one, but this might be a better option actually. And it's only $13. I think I might get this. I literally can't do this anymore. So it is the next day because essentially I went to like 6 different thrift stores to find a chair. Finally found one at like 8 p.m. yesterday, was exhausted, but I also went to Home Depot and Rona to try to get paint. Both of them didn't have either the color that I wanted or the base that I wanted or like sample sizes. So I am now at Deluxe Paints and I'm gonna try to see if they have what I need. I'm looking for a latex paint in sample sizes, so let's see what we can find. Guys, they also do not have sample sizes. Hi, I'm wondering if you guys carry sample sizes?
Yeah, like we have our like $4.99 like little sample pots.
Oh, okay, perfect. And then you guys are open until 4 today?
We're open Monday to Friday, 7 to 5:30.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No worries. Bye now.
Oh my. The 4th paint store. This is my last hope. Guys, I am back from my adventure from hell. It's been 2 days of shopping around for supplies and I finally got everything that I needed. So yesterday I thrifted a chair. Is it the chair of my dreams? No, but that's the point of this video, right? I'm trying to transform it into the Chanel version. Right now it's giving like doctor's office reception chair vibes. So the price of this chair was $12.99, which is already pretty good, but because I'm a frequenter at Valley Village, I had a discount and I got it for $8.99, which is a pretty good deal in my eyes. It's got some good structure to it. It's got the wood arms and everything is very angular and square, which I really like because I think it gives it more of that mid-century vibe that I want. The fabric is a little bit, obviously it's like old and it's got some stains in it and that kind of stuff. I'm not super worried about that. I am gonna give it a good cleaning and disinfecting session though, but I think it's a good surface for the leather painting, and I think I want to change up the color of the wood, but we'll see how it goes. I think we have a good base going. And then today I finally got some painting supplies. I went to, at this point, how many different paint stores did I go to? 4 paint stores, and I ended up getting what I needed from Benjamin Moore, so shout out Benjamin. I got 3 different paints in 3 different colors because that's what Drew did and it looked like it turned out pretty well. So I got like a light, medium, and dark shade just to do some shading in the leather to make it look a little aged. I'm also not quite sure what exact color I wanted, so I figured that if something didn't look good, I could always blend them together. So these are all latex paints, which is basically your regular wall paint that you buy from like Home Depot, Rona, like wherever, which I think is amazing because if this works, then it's super accessible. For my painting supplies, I just picked up some paintbrushes from the dollar store. I also got some fabric softener because this mixed in with the paint is supposed to make it like rubbery and that give it that rubber texture. I also picked up some vinegar because I'm gonna use some of this to help me clean the chair, which I'm about to do right now. Wish me luck! Hello. Okay, so it is now time to concoct my own cleaning solution. Right now I have a bunch of warm water and some leftover of the stain remover solution, and I got this recipe online, but I'm gonna add some white vinegar to this. Fun fact, I actually kind of I've never done cocaine before, but I would imagine that that's what cocaine feels like. Ooh, it burns. What I was saying earlier is that if you've eaten dumplings with vinegar before, you know that like brown Asian vinegar. I kind of like to drink that, not as a beverage, but like if there's leftover vinegar, I'll drink it like a soup. And I think it's really good. Apparently it's really good for your body too, so IDK. Okay, I'm gonna just put like
Wait, I might have put a lot in there actually. I'm gonna put some more water in here. Okay. Now, it said to put some dish soap in it. I really feel like I'm practicing witchcraft right now. And then lastly, just to like disinfect it a little, I'm gonna put some rubbing alcohol in here. That might not have been a good idea. I don't know if that's gonna mix, honestly. Should I not have put that in there? Shake it up. Let's see if this works. Oh. Okay, got a towel here. I'm just gonna see if like, oh, that smells disgusting. Okay. Oh, that's dirty. Oh my god, it's disgusting. I also want to try steaming it, kind of just for funsies, but also I feel like it'll be able to lift some of the stains a little. It's not super pertinent that I get all the stains out because obviously I'm going to be painting over it, but I just don't want anything to like rot underneath, you know? Just like, I want to get it as clean as I can. Oh. So I kind of want this to dry pretty quickly because I want to do a test patch on this. I'm just gonna use the iron to dry everything. And also I figure it's like it'll kill the bacteria at the same time. It's definitely working because there's a lot of steam coming out of this. I just don't know if it's the proper way, but whatever. I'm now gonna make some test patches of the paint and fabric softener mixture. Stop! No, I'm not. Ooh. Whoa. Once you mix the paint and fabric softener together, the texture is super interesting. It thickens up instantly, and the more fabric softener that you add, the thicker that it gets. So I just tested these swatches on the bottom of the chair and let them dry overnight. Hi guys, it is the next day and I have let my swatches dry. I don't know what I was on yesterday when I was measuring out the increments of paint to fabric softener because I was struggling to do some math. Like you can see, I have no idea what I'm doing. But anyway, so the first one was 1/3 fabric softener. The second one that I did was 3/8 fabric softener, which is like, it's because I measured it in a weird way and I went back in and like the 1/3 one was the last one that I did because I was like, that might be easier to conceptualize. Anyway, this one is honestly pretty similar to the 1/3 one. Still pretty coarse and pretty rough, but I think it's slightly better. And then the next one is the 1/2 fabric softener, so a 1:1 ratio. It's got a good stiffness to it, but it's also got a little bit of a sheen and like a little bit of a softer quality. And you can really tell in the paint that it's like puffier and like clumpier, which is good for that elastic quality. And then the last one is 5/8 fabric softener, so more than half of it is fabric softener. And I think I kind of messed up in the measuring because this seems to be coarser than the 1/2 ones. I think that I didn't actually add as much fabric softener as I thought. So I really don't have like proper test swatches, but I'm pretty sure that I do like the 1/2 ratio the best, so the 1:1 ratio. So I think I'm gonna go with that. It's too late, some cute stains, girls know. Oh my god! Damn it. Okay, so I've mixed all three of them up, but I'm kind of really confused right now because they all are different consistencies. So this one is like the thickest, but it's like kind of clumpy. I actually tried to add more paint to like try to make it thinner, but it's not really doing much. And then this one is like, it's still like very runny. This one is also very runny. And I'm wondering if it's just because I let this one like sit out longer than these two. Maybe it's like a timing thing. This is like a lot of paint, so I'm just gonna try putting this on first and see if the clumpiness goes away. For reference, this is the viscosity of the regular paint versus this guy. and then this guy, and then this guy. I don't know, let's just try it. Okay, before I start painting, I'm gonna mix up a spray bottle mixture of half water, half fabric softener. This is what Drew used in his video to like help spread everything. So I'm also going to do that. I keep spilling. Okay. All right, we're good to go. Okay, just gonna spray this down first. And now I will go in with my clumpy mixture. I really don't know if I should be doing this. Okay, I mean, it's working. I think I'm gonna spray it down some more just to get it to spread. Okay, so the clumps look like they're dissolving. So I've done pretty much a full coat of that base yellow. Some parts are actually dry already and some parts are still wet, but I'm going to move on to starting with the second shade while it's still kind of wet. And I'm gonna go on the areas that are like less weathered, the parts that you don't touch as much on the chair, so like the outside. Like this part will be left pretty light, this part will also be pretty light. And now I'm also going in with that darkest brown color, doing the same things, going on the sides, and just kind of shading to make it look more realistic. Hello. As you can see, the chair is dried from the first layer. I actually think it looks pretty good. Like, I'm pretty satisfied with the shading. It's pretty rough right now, but that's because I'm adding multiple layers. Hopefully just one more layer. Okay, I think it's because of the texture of the fabric, because it's not completely smooth. Some places are feeling a little bit rough, and I think especially with the darker colors of paint, it feels a little more rough. For some reason, like, the lighter the color, the thicker the consistency was, and I found that it wasn't because I added more fabric softener. I think just with different tints of paints, it kind of mixes with the fabric softener differently. So the darker ones are definitely a little rougher. So I tried to add more fabric softener to the darker paints, but it just made it more liquidy for some reason. And I think I figured out that you kind of have to mix in the correct amount on the first try, or else the consistency just like changes on you. Like if it doesn't get thick on the first time that you mix it, I kind of had to like start over. So I don't know if that's just specific to me, but that's just what happened. I also tried to sand down some of the rough parts with some sandpaper just to get a smoother surface. But again, I think with my type of fabric, it's not super ideal. It just exposed the bottom layer of fabric again. So I think I'm just gonna not sand it and continue to do what I'm doing, because I'm not super mad at the texture. I think that real leather has a bit of texture. Obviously, it's not the same texture as this, but I don't feel like it's that detrimental to the aesthetic that I'm going for. So I'm just gonna continue. So after I painted a second base layer with all of the shading, I wanted to go back in and add some more details to make it a little bit more realistic looking. So I'm taking some of the lighter paint and I'm putting it on kind of like the edges that would get scratched up or interact with the environment on a daily basis. And I went in with my finger because I noticed that when I painted with my finger, it ended up looking really smooth. I also found that it blended really easily like this, especially since the rest of the paint was still wet. So I just dabbed a little bit of that paint on, especially on the edges, and blended that out. So I let the paint dry for a bit, and then it was time to move on to the limbs of the chair. I didn't bother taping off the wood because it had a pretty glossy sealant on it, and I knew that this paint would immediately scrape off. So I just went ahead and scraped that off. And then basically I think that this color of wood stain is the worst choice that you could make for wood stain, yet every single dorm room across America has this exact type of wood stain for all of its pieces of furniture. I think that says a lot about America, quite frankly. I don't know what it says, but I think it says something. So I'm sanding it all off. At first I tried to sandpaper by hand, and then I realized it was going to take way too freaking long. So at 10 p.m. on a 10 degrees Celsius night, I brought my chair outside and used my orbital sander. No! Oh my god. Oh my god. It was on. Oh, that's bad. How do I turn it off? Oh my god, that's scary. Back! Right there. So I remembered that I had some wood stain stashed in our garage somewhere and decided to paint this freshly unadulterated wood with the wood stain. And immediately 30 seconds later I hated it and attempted to wipe as much as I could off. So it was time to regroup and put my thinking cap on. So I spent the last little bit photoshopping away at a couple different options for what I want to do with the wood arm legs things. The first idea is to use the original black plan, but I think it looks a little like, I don't know, it's just not really the vibe. It's a little bit too much of a stark contrast. The other idea was to go full steam ahead with the dark wood stain. Just confirming again, I absolutely hate it. So I think the last resort is to sand down the stain that I just put on back to the original wood color. I think I'm gonna do that. Honestly, I can't tell what the ideal color would be, but I think the original wood color is my best option. But then to add a little bit back to it so it's not just super plain, I think I want to add arm pads, armband things, because a while ago I actually went to the thrift store and I found this faux leather fabric. And I was like, how perfect. It's not the same color, but I think I can use the same paint to weather it and make it look like the same color as the chair. I hope that that will add a little bit of seasoning to the chair. Round 2, let's sand down the chair. So I just wiped down the Sandstorm by Darude. Did anyone get that reference? And then I measured for how big I wanted the arm pad to be, measured and drew that out on my leather fabric, cut that out, and wrapped it around the armband with some duct tape that I actually can't see, and some E6000 glue. Next, I'm just taping off the wood part so I don't get any paint on it. After that, I'm using the same paints that I used before and kind of using the same technique that I did on the fabric. I did have to use kind of like a lighter hand though, because this is pleather, so it didn't absorb like the fabric did, and I had to go in with multiple layers. I eventually used my fingers to kind of blend because I found that that was the easiest method. Guys, I'm just painting and it looks like I took a massive shit on my thigh. Like, these are one of my favorite pairs of sweatpants, and it has been sacrificed for the chair. For a chair. Okay, let's try this again. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is this a joke? Oh my god. I actually can't make this shit up. Well, actually, you do make shit every day. Oh my god, it literally looks like diarrhea. This looks disgusting. I have to retire these pants. That looks disgusting, bro. I actually can't do this anymore. So after I finished painting, adding some final touches, and letting it dry, it was finally finished. Now, let's see it before and after. Guys, we did it. What do you guys think? Here's what I think. I think this looks really good. We've gone from receptionist chair to possibly selling for $300 at West Elm. Now, I might be hyping myself up way too much, but I don't really care. Ooh, it's like the perfect rustic, mid-century modern vibe. It's actually like astonishing how leathery it looks considering this was fabric to begin with. This is a new era, new chapter in my life. I've left rattan chair in the past. We're not thinking about her, him, or gender neutral anymore. We said thank you next. I think it'll fit in the room very well. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Also, be sure to stream and watch the music video for my song Someone I Never Had. This chair will also make an appearance in my next video. That will be the part 2 to my music room makeover. If you haven't seen part 1, go watch that. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!